Earth needs healing and it's crying for attention. This is one of the strongest statements of President Bola Tinubu at the ongoing Conference of Parties COP28 in Dubai. This shows that global warming is indeed a global warning, and all nations must be sincere in implementing the nationally determined contributions. What areas should Nigeria and the global community focus more attention on in mitigating climate change? Our focus today on Panorama. I'm Elizabeth Omori. We'll be right back. Now we'll begin with the sidelines of COP28. Nigeria enters another strategic partnership with a leading European manufacturing factory and other multilateral partners for the production of lightweight solar panels after the signing of memoranda of understanding on the sidelines of COP28 in Dubai, the United Arab Emirates. Charles Alpha reports that this is coming barely hours after securing a deal on electrification.
Nigeria started seeing tangible results of negotiations barely 4 days into COP28. Two memoranda of understanding, all on accelerating Nigeria's climate commitment and just transition. Infrastructure Corporation of Nigeria, African Green Infrastructure Investment Bank, and Solarge will by this commitment create solar panel in the country using recycling plastics.
So this MOU you are signing today is going to support our intention to extend electricity access to the rural dwellers.
The PV manufacturing plant will be one of the large-scale production facilities in the world for lightweight panels with ultra-low carbon footprint.
The project that we're talking about touches on three things. Number one is local manufacturing. Number two, it's green manufacturing. Number three, it's renewable energy equipment manufacturing.
Capital is being mobilized to finance a green industrialization strategy, and that is something which I think is a testament to the change that we see in the area of climate finance, and Africa is leading the way with this project.
We believe a new era of made in Nigeria, clean and efficient energy solutions and technologies.
It is actually going to be an example of how we can trade across borders.
Another MOU was signed by the National Council on Climate Change on behalf of the federal government with the African Climate Foundation.
AFC is providing catalytic financing to the National Council on Climate Change for implementation of climate change policies, development of climate change projects, green projects that will also lead to the earning of carbon credits.
The federal government power company also recently signed an MOU with Siemens Energy to help build Nigeria energy sources. From Dubai, Charles Alpha, NTA.
Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has renewed the commitment of Nigeria to taking critical steps towards the reduction of methane emission globally. The Nigerian president was one of the world's leaders who spoke at a session on methane emission reduction efforts on day 2 of the World Climate Action Summit in Dubai. President Bola Tinubu acknowledged the damage done to the earth by methane emissions and commended the measures taken to collectively reduce it towards climate action. He informed the gathering that Nigeria is consolidating on domestic gas usage and export as part of commitment to energy mix and reduction of carbon emissions.
We are committed to energy mix. We are providing cooking gas for a large population. We will continue to do that. We've signed off on reduction of methane. We will leverage on new technology, and we hope the two giant nations and the Emirates will be able to help us through. And the largest economies that have benefited immensely to do more real fast because their health need healing and is crying for attention more quickly. Thank you very much.
And joining me in the studio to discuss more on issues being raised at COP28 is Professor Naomi John Dadi Mahmood, a Professor of Environmental Science and the Director Center for Gender Affairs, IBB University, La Paz, Niger State. Prof, thank you so much for joining us on Panorama.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Now, the climate changes are the center of discussions at the ongoing COP28 in Dubai. It is a shared responsibility for all nations. But here in Nigeria, what are some of the areas the country must look at to reduce some of the challenges being raised at the conference?
To start with, most of these things are caused by human anthropogenic activities, either domestic, industrial, or agricultural.
Okay.
So we have to face it holistically. We look at all the pollution that is generated based on our domestic activities. Then we tackle them. Then we go to the industrial activities. Then we tackle, and then we also go to agricultural activities. Majorly, we have created so much waste by our domestic activities. Kitchen waste are there, and all these ones can be converted. We can use different methods to convert any domestic waste that we generate so as to use it or to renew it or to recycle it, that we will also benefit from it. For majorly the one that brings about climate change is the activity of industries. Fossil fuel, especially, that is hydrocarbon of gas, petrol, coal, and the rest, are the ones that when they emit, they warm the climate, and that's how it brings about climate change. So basically, we should look away from fossil fuel and go into the aspect of renewable energy. Like I've worked on aquatic plant, hydrophyte, like water lily. It can be converted using our kitchen waste or our domestic waste combined. When it decomposes, it can produce biogas for us. That one I've tested and it can work. We can also look at bioplastic by using sugars or what we have that can produce sugars like carbohydrate or even sugar cane to produce bioplastic. Because most of these plastics that we are not managing well, it ends up being born. And when they are born, they emit carbon monoxide into the atmosphere, and this one also will destruct the atmospheric
Prof, I'd like to come in there. I know you have actually been following deliberations at COP28. What would be your take so far by the Nigerian delegation? Because the issue of $4.3 trillion was actually raised. How do you see nations, African nations, meeting the target annually?
If I can get the question clearly.
Yeah, I said, I understand you have been following deliberations at COP28.
Okay.
And the issue of $4.3 trillion to be raised annually by countries was actually raised. Now, let's take a look at the vulnerability of some African countries. How do we meet up with this Paris Agreement?
We have to diversify our economy. Like I said, from this waste that we are generating, it can be waste wealth. Instead of disposing them indiscriminately, we can package them and sell them. We can package them and send them to the agricultural farms for production of food crops and cash crops. We can also recycle them for other products. And when we sell, we are going to generate revenue for the country. That will give us more income and as well meet the target of the desired economic growth.
Okay. Now, we are focusing attention more at the center. In which areas do you think state governments can partner or assist the federal government in meeting the nationally determined contributions? Because you've given several ideas already.
Okay. Whatever that is done at the federal level can go to the state level and can be replicated as well at the local government level. Not even that. The ministries that are concerned, we can look at the Ministry of Environment, we can look at the Ministry of Water Resources, we can also look at Trade and Investment, as well as Ministry of Health. All this one, when they come combined, looking at what is available, they can put head together, and each of the states have such ministries as well in the state. By the time they combine, they will bring out, each state has its own peculiarity. So whatever is available in that state is what can be used to produce income and as well to discourage or to reduce the emission of gases in our country.
Okay. All right, let's divert a little bit. You are the director for Center for Gender Affairs at the university. So let's quickly just divert a little to the area of gender equality. Are we there in this journey to making women actualize their goals and dreams where we come talk about equity?
Yes, the previous government have been trying. If you discover that most times you will not see women in governance, but the previous government have done it, and the present government is also giving regards to this 35 affirmative. You can see there are about 5 or 6 ministers already in the cabinet. So if we have 5 or 6, the next one we have maybe 7 and 8. That's how progressively we are going to tackle that inequality.
Interested. Okay, now my final question to you is still on gender. When you take a look at the percentage of women in governance or in politics in Nigeria, the figures are still very low. So how do we boost or improve on these figures?
First, we have to create awareness. Most people don't even know that as a woman you can do more than what you are doing. So we have to create awareness, sensitize the women. Then 2, we have to empower them, either with skills acquisition, because sometimes poverty can also be what is making women not to come out. So when we give them skills or make them entrepreneur or even small, medium enterprise, you discover that they'll be empowered, and that when you are empowered, you have your voice. When you have skill, you have your voice. When you have an income, when you are not poor, you have your voice, and people can listen to you, and as well you can vie for positions.
Now that's very correct. All right, Professor Naomi John Dade Mahmoud, I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us on Panorama today.
You're welcome, and thank you
very
for
much.
having me.
You're still watching Panorama. More to come. Just stay with us.
The counsel of our fathers.
I will urge and advise our younger generation to use talent and brain to sort out problems, not arms.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation.
My advice to these young people is please do not take us back to those harrowing days. You probably do not know what it is.
I believe we have fought one civil war too many in this country. So those who experience it will run away from it.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation together.
Thanks for staying with us. The Ministry of Solid Minerals Development and the Commonwealth Secretariat have commenced discussions on profitable prospects for deep-sea mining in Nigeria's coastal waters. This is when the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake, visited the institution. Alake said President Bola Tinubu has identified the solid minerals sector as the pillar of Nigeria's current efforts to diversify the economy and the Commonwealth as an institution with the expertise to support the administration's efforts. Commonwealth's Senior Director, Trade, Oceans and Natural Resources Department, Paul Kote, commended the federal government for partnering with the organization for such huge projects, noting that Nigeria as a coastal country could explore the profitable prospects of extraction of deep-sea minerals such as copper, cobalt, nickel, gold and rare earth elements. Now to security. In view of emerging internal security challenges, the Nigerian Army has ongoing operations in the 36 states of the Federation, including the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, to enhance intelligence gathering through effective communication with the locals in different areas of deployment. The Nigeria Resource Center is developing the capacity of troops in indigenous language proficiency. The course is focusing on Hausa, Igbo and Yoruba as the three major languages.
That the Nigerian Army is deployed in the 36 states of the country, combating one form of security challenge or the other. And it is another way to ensure that we can work in one accord with the local populace.
Not only for the service of the nation, but even on an individual basis, the benefit is immense. People are now able to communicate with their locals, with people wherever they go to, and they enjoy the patronage or the benefit of the language.
The 2023 course is the 14th in the series. Now, a bit on education. Efforts have been made by Association of Nigerian Writers to build capacity of members, take the footsteps of its founding fathers such as Chinwe Achebe and others to be able to produce quality books, and so that the reading public can be well informed. The new leadership of the association took this position in view of what it describes as the profession is being populated with people who write all manners of scripts without due diligence, that have the tendency of misleading the reading public, especially the upcoming generations. In addition, a residency will be put in place as a platform where veterans will have regular interface with new entrants into the profession for cross-fertilization of ideas as the world is changing.
Build the capacity of some of our members to be in tune with world-class standards, to produce books that will match any of such standard in the world. We believe that we cannot live in isolation. We need to bring our activities to the attention of institutions that are relevant to us among the ministry departments and agencies, and even international bodies and NGOs that can also assist most of our young writers.
The association believes that with the plans in place, if rigorously pursued in no distant time, it will rid the profession of those whose motive to venture into it is only for financial benefits. Now, the National Information Technology Development Agency's IHatch incubation program second cohort has ended, with innovators creating market-ready digitally produced products. Chimdima Undubisi reports that 3 out of 8 solutions stood out, winning thousands of dollars each.
6 months ago, Abdul Malik was an innovator with just ideas on how to develop a gadget that will aid in diabetes care. But after participating in NITDA's second cohort IHatch incubation program powered by Japan International Cooperation Agency JICA, his idea was translated into a tangible product ready for the market. He is also smiling home with $15,000 as the first prize winner. Solutions for maternal child care and improved learning for students won second and third positions with $12,000 and $10,000 prizes.
So we're getting the first MPP out as soon as possible, get feedback and build from there. So that way we are building for the customer.
All the solutions were designed with computers and printed with the 3D printers at the Digital Fabrication Laboratory.
This resonates with what we are trying to do in promoting additive manufacturing, where you can have these 3D printers, you can modularize your manufacturing line.
We will continue to provide support through initiatives such as iHatch and JBridge.
In another development, NTA has commenced the Emerging Technology for All training program at NYSC camps.
We will have courses on IoT, we will have courses on big data analytics, we will have courses on artificial intelligence, we also intend to establish a CDS group.
This is to build up a skills hub that will meet up with the artificial intelligence economy of the future. In Abuja, Chibdumba Dubisi, NTA News.
Now to infrastructure, the second Niger bridge has been officially handed over to the federal government 7 months after its inauguration. The Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, received the project on behalf of the federal government. Susan Esu reports.
Ceremony at the Asaba end of the bridge, the Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, expressed satisfaction with the job, which he says is done according to standard specification.
The structures we are seeing are the structures for the tolling plaza. The route is going to be completed when we have completed the 2 interchanges. One is taking us off from the Asaba town, so that if you are coming to this bridge, you don't have to go through the Asaba town and encounter a lot of hold-up. His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is very committed to completing this project so that tolling can start. However, if we get an investor who is prepared to fund the 2 interchanges, why not? We hand over the project for construction under our HDMI program.
Other issues observed in the course of inspection, the minister says, will be fixed for easy and safe movement during the festive season.
The light issue, and we've put it together on how to permanently have light, especially at night. And what we have agreed is to deploy solar solution to that in the coming weeks, so that every night we don't have to run diesel, we have to run on solar.
Managing Director of the construction firm and the Director Bridge Design and Construction South in the Federal Ministry of Works say the job is completed to the highest quality. The 1.6-kilometer bridge is intended to ease the perennial traffic congestion on the first Niger bridge and is funded by the Presidential Infrastructure Development Fund. In Asaba, Susan Esu, NTA News.
Next, some sporting stories with Badi Adile.
Yusuf Abdullahi made history on Sunday as he became the first player to score 5 away goals in a single game in the Nigeria Premier Football League. Abdullahi scored in the 10th, 14th, 33rd, 45th and 59th minutes for Kano Pillars against Gombe United as they ran out 5-2 winners in their matchday 11 encounter at the Pantami Stadium.
Oh my goodness! Yusuf Abdullahi with another opportunity. Will he be able to make it? Yes, he does! He makes it 5!
In other results, Sporting Lagos recorded a slim 1-0 win over Katsina United, while Remo Stars beat Plateau United by the same margin to return to the top of the standings. In England, Dejan Kulusevski got a 90th minute equalizer for Tottenham to earn them a 3-0 draw against Manchester City in a thrilling Premier League game at the Etihad. In other results, 10-man Chelsea impressively battled to a 3-2 victory over Brighton at Stamford Bridge, with Trent Alexander-Arnold's 88th minute strike giving Liverpool a dramatic 4-3 victory against Fulham at Anfield. Back home, Chief of Defence Staff General Christopher Musa has commended the Skating Federation of Nigeria for taking the youth off the streets by engaging them positively through competitive skating. He spoke at the first National Skating Championships in Abuja, which featured a marathon, slalom display and aggressive high jump, both in the male and female categories, with children not left out.
Sports unites Nigerians, and we want to use every opportunity that we have to unite Nigerians together to understand that the non-kinetic effort is very, very efficient. It's very, very important. It gives us that sense of purpose.
Almost about 19 states are here with their youth to compete. So I'm the happiest individual president for the association.
Over 1,000 skaters drawn from all geopolitical zones of the country participated in the one-day event, which also served as qualifiers for the World Championships. With Sports Update, Bade Adeleye, NTA News.
And Sports Update ends Panorama today. Thank you for watching. I'm Elizabeth Omori. Good afternoon.